2019 is over, and holy goose were there many great Nintendo Switch titles this year. So much so that we had to extend the list to 11 to fit the best-selling title of the year. And as a Christmas present to you, I, Joseph, am here to help Conrad with this video and all of you in finding the best replacement for the Christmas present you didn't want. So let's get started. But first, give Conrad a Christmas present by liking this video and subscribing. And give me a Christmas present by checking out my channel. It's a link in the description below.
If we were to describe Pokemon Sword and Shield in one word, then it would be inconsistency. It has been a long time since we were this conflicted with a video game, well, with the exception of Death Stranding, obviously. Since there's so much I love and feel is great about Sword and Shield, and at the same time so much that I feel needed better structure, more polishing, or simply an overall update, as many things in this game are outdated for a full HD experience. At the same time, I would also like to say that it's great to finally have a mainline Pokemon game on a home console system. The game has brilliant moments that stand out, which unfortunately only needs seconds to be overshadowed by the outdated elements of the game. It's never consistent, always going up and down in terms of quality and enjoyment. It almost lures you in, sets your hope up high, and then flat out drops them down. However, even in the face of constant negatives being found within the game, we've found a lot of genuine fun and enjoyment. Sometimes, we were even able to lose ourselves in the experience, forgetting all of the shortcomings of the title, and even be able to zone out. However, when zoning out ended, it was particularly disheartening, and we really hope that there will be another Pokemon title on the Switch that blows this one out of the water. Geese, the devils with feathers. The only creature that doesn't attack because they're afraid of you, no, they attack because they want to f*** you up. A quick YouTube search will confirm that. But why are they so evil? Simple, being an annoying goose is too much fun, and thanks to House, we finally got to see the world from the honk point of view. This game is short and as simple as it gets, but if charm and character alone were decisive, Untitled Goose Game would no doubt be number one on this list. Despite lacking a little in substance and length, this game is definitely worthy to be included on this list for its mayhem and stress-relieving value alone. If you haven't already, make sure that the goose is loose, peace was never an option, and that the rake belongs in the lake. Is there anything more I need to say? This Misadventure in the Village is the perfect slapstick title that you can get for under $20 this year.
2019 was the year that we finally saw Assassin's Creed come to the Nintendo Switch, with not one, but 4 games. The first 2 being in Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, packaged with 3 and Liberation. But don't worry, these aren't on the list. These games aren't that great, and their Switch ports are even worse. However, just this month, we got the Rebel Collection, packing with it Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Rogue. Even though these are last generation ports, that shouldn't stop you from picking them up on the Nintendo Switch. Black Flag alone is worth the $40 price of admission, as it is one of the best games in the franchise. Playing as Edward Kenway, you sail the vast, colorful Caribbean looking for ships to plunder and treasure to steal. All of this being wrapped in a deep, complex narrative that only Assassin's Creed could bring. When you're not going through the story, however, you can also explore the gigantic open world with many side activities. And when you're done with Black Flag, jump into Rogue to experience the story of Shay Cormac, an assassin turned Templar. It's gonna be a very long time before we see the newest Assassin's Creed games come to the Switch, but if you're a Switch owner who hasn't yet gotten into the franchise, then the Rebel Collection is the best way to go. With it, you're getting one of the best games in the series and a pretty solid spin-off to go with it. Heck, this game came out a few weeks ago and it's already my most played Switch game of 2019. It's that good. And maybe if enough people buy this game, we will see the Ezio Collection come to the Switch as well. Yooka-Laylee was a very welcome return to the origins of 3D platforming, but the best title so far from Playtonic is not their Banjo replacement, but their Donkey Kong successor. Since if there's one thing Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair is, it is a rock-solid 2D platformer adventure title with the same quality and love seen in games such as Rayman Legends and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Fitting, as the game was developed by the original Rareware team of the Donkey Kong Country series in the 90s. The challenge, the colorful environments, and mastering your controller movements, it's all here and more. Nevertheless, what is more important is that Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair is an example of the quality from Playtonic, a studio that could potentially, in the future, bring back former Rare experience to its fullest potential, minus the original characters. We hope for the best, and in the meanwhile, enjoy the best version of Yooka-Laylee on the Nintendo Switch. In a game industry filled with open worlds and complex stories, sometimes you just have to slow down and appreciate a charming work of art like Luigi's Mansion 3. I don't think many of us were prepared for how good this was going to be. At least I wasn't. From the minute you boot up this game, it just reeks of charm, with incredible animation and funny dialogue. All of this lends itself well to the gameplay, resulting in an unforgettable experience on the Nintendo Switch. Luigi's Mansion 3 takes the fun aspects from both the original and Dark Moon, combining them to make the best game in the trilogy. The new Poltergust doesn't just suck up ghosts, it Hulk smashes them, shoots plungers, and it even has Gooigi, which ultimately makes the puzzles in this game that much more intuitive and creative. The game doesn't shy away from content too, with 17 floors, each with their own boss battles and unique settings. There's even a multiplayer mode for your friends to get in on the ghost sucking. If this is the future for Luigi's Mansion, then color us excited. Next Level Games have truly outdone themselves with this title, and it couldn't have come at a more perfect time on Halloween. While the gameplay itself is fun, it doesn't shy away from getting creative. It's time we treat Green Mario with some respect around here.
Dragon Quest XI-S, the definitive edition of Dragon Quest XI ported from PS4, brings not only new features but quite literally an entirely new game. This version quite literally allows you to play recreations of previous Dragon Quest worlds in classic 2D mode, igniting the nostalgia levels beyond any and all expectations. You can even complete quests in these worlds to help restore them to their former selves. Honestly, this alone would make the game worth buying. However, you're also getting a photo mode, new sound and voiceovers, battle speed selection, and the ability to use the fun-sized forge anywhere, perfect for crafting. Bringing these awesome features to Dragon Quest XI makes this the perfect way to play the title, which was already a fantastic game and an overall excellent entry into the series. Even if you haven't played the series before, this is the best way to begin. With a fully orchestrated soundtrack, it's truly the best version available on the market. Think of it as Pokemon, but way more ambitious, with better animations, better story, better environments. It's everything that Pokemon would and should be in a perfect world. Sounds good, doesn't it? That's because it is.
Top-down Zelda faced an uncertain future with the Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild elevating the series to new heights. Then came the February Nintendo Direct with the reveal of the remake of Link's Awakening for Nintendo Switch. This game may not be among the longest Zelda experiences, but damn, did Grezzo do a mighty fine job in updating this somber, but at the same time, so good classic. The lesson here is that for Zelda, sometimes simple is often the best, reminding us how important dungeons are to the franchise and a major plot twist can make to conflict our further quest. No princess to save, instead, you are forced to question whether your quest is right or wrong. In fact, this remake of the Hero of Legends adventure on the Isle of Koholint is so good that it is a shame that content-wise, this game is close to a carbon copy of Link's Awakening DX. With its color dungeon, but no mouse photographer, and unfortunately, without online sharing of chamber dungeons, Link's Awakening falls a little short compared to the next few games on the list.
Fire Emblem Three Houses, the game that truly showed us this year how to bring a series from handheld and back to console. For the first time, the style of battles, maps, and cutscenes are in the same style and seamless, which granted a new level of immersion to an already fantastic series, with memorable characters and free pathways that are radically different. This game truly makes you question if you selected the right path upon the crucial timescale, in part due to its strong and memorable house leaders, Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude. As a strategy title, Fire Emblem Three Houses is returned to gameplay form and creates an experience that everyone can fall for, with battle scenes that finally feels like actual battles instead of duels, amazing moments that we refuse to spoil, and a quest that is so long that you're likely to not get through all three paths. In return, you will get real value for your money, as the adventure that awaits you in Fodlan and its bittersweet reunions are so good that it nearly became our Nintendo Switch New Game of the Year of 2019. Yeah, there are many remasters on the Switch. Still, it definitely deserved its award for the best strategy game of 2019 at the Game Awards. Astral Chain is an incredibly impressive title on the Nintendo Switch, and one of my favorite experiences on the Nintendo Switch this year, and in my humble opinion, Nintendo's best new franchise at launch since Xenoblade Chronicles, and gameplay-wise the best new exclusive IP since Pikmin. I can't stress this enough. Do not sleep on Astral Chain if you haven't played it already, as this is another top-of-the-class Platinum experience on the level of Nier Automata and Bayonetta 2, and it makes sense as the game was developed by the lead designer of the former and supervised by the latter. And though the action sections is where the game reaches masterpiece levels, the game also excels in its explorative portions, which fits well with the nature of being a police officer. Yes, the story cliches are abundant, and the more mundane policing sections may not be as fun as the excellent combat sections, but are still solid and well crafted with investigative portions which highlight some of the less action-filled responsibilities of law enforcement around the world. Say in a little way like Hot Fuzz did for the world of cinema.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. Some games are so good that they deserve a top 5 spot even when they are not Switch exclusives. The Switcher is definitely worthy of this title. Undisputed Game of the Year 2015 with more awards than any other games ever, and one of the best games in this decade, period. A masterpiece in storytelling, side quests, music, and attention to in-game detail. No doubt the most ambitious game ever ported to the Switch, with all expansions included on a single 32GB cartridge. No extra downloads required. This handheld console hybrid port, despite its graphical downgrades, is still a wonder to behold, and the quest and even greater side quests are just as great as they were on PC and other consoles. Being able to play this experience anywhere and fully handheld on Nintendo Switch Lite is nothing but a miracle, and a sign to the commitment of star developer CD Projekt Red. Geralt of Rivia's search for Ciri and battle with the Wild Hunt offers a value that is unprecedented in the video game world. And you don't have to look further as to what is included in the physical release of the game. Then why only the second spot? Simple, the game is incredible, but it is a port of a 2015 game with better versions on a big screen. However, if the handheld play is your jam, then only a few games can beat the Switcher.
Number 1. Super Mario Maker 2. After the latest free December update with new items and the introduction of a 2D, 8-bit side-scroller Zelda Maker, there is no longer any doubt. Super Mario Maker 2 is our number 1 new Nintendo Switch game of the year. Why? As this sequel blows the Wii U original out of the water. The game takes all of the innovation of its less successful father and makes sweeping improvements, increasing the possibility for creation in almost every way. 2 players can now build courses together on a single screen, providing a unique way to play co-op, and you can find a single-player story mode with over 100 original levels made by Nintendo, and you can of course play online. Show off your levels to the world, play against other players, and push the boundaries of creativity as you gain ratings from other users. Super Mario Maker 2 is a dream come true for any 2D Mario fan, taking the best the side-scroller platformer has to offer while allowing you to directly interact, create, and shape every aspect of every level you can imagine. Every Mario fan should have this game in their Switch library. It's a title that will have you absolutely hooked for years to come.
And there you have it, our top 10 recommendations on the Nintendo Switch from this year. If you didn't do so already, be so kind as to give Conrad a late Christmas present by liking this video, subscribing, and pressing that shiny notification bell. In return, he will provide you with the best Zelda and Nintendo Switch videos in 2020. A happy new year to all of you, and we will see you again in 2020. Yes, I will be in another video after the first Nintendo Direct of the year, but if you can't wait that long, be sure to check out my own channel, Ferris Wheel Pro, for some more gaming content. And while you're at it, why not check out one of these other awesome videos?